All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to tackle a tool you've almost definitely seen floating around, but maybe you've never really dug into it. I'm talking about the UML Activity Diagram. It's this super powerful way to see how a system actually works, under the hood. So yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, yeah, I'm so glad we're talking about this. Because seriously, Ada, I see these things everywhere. In design docs, project plans, and they look complicated. They look like these super intense flowcharts. What are they actually for? What are they trying to tell me?
That is the perfect question to start with, Leo. So, at its heart, a UML activity diagram is what we call a behavioral model. That's a fancy way of saying it shows you what a system does. The flow, right? From one activity to the next. It's not just a static picture, it's more like a dynamic map that shows the system in action.
And that really gets to the heart of it, right? Why bother? Why do we even need these things? Well, when it comes to designing a system, it's all about one word: clarity. It's about getting everybody, and I mean everybody, on the same page before anyone even thinks about writing code.
And you were right. They're way more than just a flowchart. You can map out these really complex business processes, sure, but their real superpower? It's communication. This is how you can sit down with a client, someone who doesn't know code, and show them exactly how a new feature is going to work. It's a bridge, really. It builds that shared understanding so there are no surprises later.
Okay, I like that. So it's not just a secret language for developers.
Not at all. That's the whole point. The best way to think about it is like a recipe for what the system does. It shows you every single step, every choice it makes, and how all the different parts, all the ingredients come together.
Okay, a recipe. I can work with that. But, with any recipe, you have to know what tablespoon and teaspoon mean. So what are the symbols? How do you actually read one of these diagrams?
Okay, let's get into the key symbols. The most basic one, the absolute building block, is the action. It's just a rounded rectangle. Easy enough, right? And all it means is a single step or one task. So if you were looking at a diagram for a medical device, an action might literally just be compute insulin dose. It's one specific job the system has to do.
All right, next up, the diamond shape. This is a decision node. This is your classic fork in the road, your if this, then that moment. The process hits this point and has to answer a question, something like, is the sugar level stable? And depending on the answer, it's going to go down one path or another. This is where the system has to make a choice.
Okay, now this is what makes these diagrams so cool and different from a regular flowchart. You'll see these thick black bars. Those are fork and join nodes. A fork splits the process into things that can happen at the same time, in parallel. Then, the join node, the other black bar, is like a rendezvous point. It waits for all those parallel things to finish up before the main process can move on. This is huge for showing how modern systems work, because they're always juggling multiple things at once.
Hold on a sec. A decision node splits the path, and a fork node splits the path. What's the actual difference there? It sounds like the same thing.
That is an excellent question, because getting this is key. With a decision node, the diamond, it's a choice. It's this or that. You take one path and only one. But with a fork, the black bar, it's this and that. You do everything in parallel. All paths are taken at once. Think about it like ordering food. A decision is, do I want fries or onion rings? You pick one. A fork is like saying, I'll have a burger and fries and a milkshake. You get them all at the same time.
Okay, choice versus parallel. Got it. So the little pieces make sense on their own, but I really need to see how they all fit together. Can we walk through like a real-world business example or something?
Absolutely. Let's use a classic, processing an order. So step 1, the process starts when we accept an order. Simple enough. Then we fill the order, get the items ready. Now look at step 3. We hit that black bar, a fork. That means two things happen at once. We send the invoice and we deliver the goods. They happen in parallel. Then see step 4? That's the join. It just waits. It waits until the invoice is sent and the goods are delivered. Once both are done, then and only then can we move on to the final step, close order. See how that lays it all out, even the multitasking part? It's crystal clear.
And this right here, this is the so what. This is why we do this. From a business standpoint, finding a mistake in the logic right here on the diagram, it can be up to 100 times cheaper. 100! Than finding that same bug after everything's been coded and shipped to the customer. We're talking about a massive, massive saving in time, money, and honestly, just a ton of headaches.
So you see, this isn't just about drawing pretty pictures. This stuff has a huge real-world impact. So Leo, let me turn it back to you. After all that, what are your main takeaways? What was the big aha moment for you?
For me, the big aha is that they really are blueprints for a process. They're not just simple flowcharts, especially because they can show things happening in parallel. That's a game changer. It feels like it creates this common language, right? So the developers and the project managers, and even me, we can all look at the same diagram and know exactly what the system is supposed to do. And yeah, that 100x number, I mean, finding problems early, that just makes so much sense.
Exactly. That's it right there. So I'll leave you and everyone listening with this question. Now that you know how to read the recipe, what's the very first business process at your job that you'd want to map out? Give it some thought, because drawing it out like this might just save you a whole lot of trouble later on.